Man, take a look at this. These things are so messed up here, you know. We've got all manner of stuffs here. We've got hard drives. We've got cables. This table has pretty much been like this for well over, if I remember correctly, well over, I came to the warehouse 2019 and things have just been like junked up on this table. This is one corner of the warehouse I pretty much do not use. Take a look at the window. It's all messed up. See that? This is beautiful view out there from the warehouse. I hope you can see that. Anyway, guys, we live in a time where people just expect that if you are a business owner, you have magically made it. Especially when it took you so long, you know, to work on your business. If you were grinding for say 3, 4, 5, 6, up to 10 years, when you finally make it, people just have a way of expecting that everything is already working out for you. You no longer have, you know, daily challenges. Your business possibly now is just on autopilot. You are now able to sit down at the sea, you know, drink some coconut water and even walking while you are sitting down at the beach. You know, this is kind of some expectation that people have of business owners, and the messaging on YouTube doesn't also make it, you know, light. You've got RAM sticks, all manner of RAM sticks. You know, you've got some, I don't even know what this is, perhaps some premium power adapter for an iPhone or an iPad, I can't tell right now. We've got batteries for Lenovo T480, if I remember correctly, yes. More hard drives. You know, this keyboard, I bought it a long time ago, never ever used it even for once. I didn't even try it. This is some of the things I did in error a long time ago. You know, I bought it with the hope or with the aim of using it for this, you know, iMac right here, but I never used it. SSDs all over the place. People expect that when you have finally made it, your business is already, you know, working. If you sell physical product, you are selling things and you have customers buying your stuff, people expect that you no longer have, you know, daily challenges. And sometimes, you know, when these entrepreneurs also come online to make videos, they kind of just cut out those challenges. They want to talk only about the good things, the wins, how they are making a lot of money every day, and how things just appears to be working. So today, I felt like I also need to let you in of the struggles that we also pass through on a day-to-day basis. More RAM sticks, you know, there are processor coolers right here. Everything is just so messed up. Look at the table, everything is so dirty. And if you come right here, it's the same thing. There are a lot of stuff, some documents, you know, some lights. This I bought with the aim of, you know, using it a long time ago, never ever used it. And there are laptops here, dirty rag. This is just crazy, guys. Laptops, broken screens, you know, keyboards, all manner of craziness, you know, happening right here. Come here, there are all manner of graphic cards. This is just a few of the hundreds of graphic cards I have right here in the warehouse, and I'm just thinking to myself, I definitely have to find time, you know, to clean all this. You know, this is the corner of the warehouse I pretty much do not use all the time, but it doesn't necessarily have to be, you know, this dirty. You see, this morning I woke up with a very strong lower back pain. I didn't have it yesterday, even though I was feeling a little bit tired yesterday, which was Sunday. I did come to the warehouse to try to hang up some frame on the wall. And in any case, I woke up this morning, you know, feeling, you know, motivated to come to the warehouse. And this lower back pain was like, hey, young man, today you are going nowhere. Today, I am ready for you guys. I was pretty much knocked out. It took me up to 1 hour to finally, you know, get off of bed. I was just scrolling on my phone, watching a lot of brain rot content, and at the end of the day, I stood up and I had to take, you know, pain relievers just because the pain was getting really, really heavy. And then I was able to get some coffee, still sat on the dining table, took my laptop, just taking a look at what the day was going to look like. At this time, it was already about 10 o'clock. I felt like it was a good time to begin to come to the warehouse to take a look at what I can possibly do. Guys, when I came here today, I had no motivation to do anything. You know, today is so raining, the weather is cloudy, everything is so gray, and sometimes the weather have a very big influence on how we feel. I have noticed myself when it's very sunny, I tend to be very, very active. But then when I came in, boy, I had no motivation to list items. I had no motivations to check eBay, to even check if customers are, you know, sending me a price requests or stuff like that. I just wanted to sit down and do nothing. And today, I'm just going to push myself to try to clean this. Look at the floor. There are all manner of cobwebs right here. This window is supposed to be very clean, and this is something I want to do today, because at the end of the day, it's not just about, you know, hustling, trying to buy computers and sell them and all stuff like that. There are things that also goes on behind the scene. This iMac right here, I got like 4 or 5 pieces of this iMac exactly looking like this. You know, there's one here, there's another one here, and I still got 2 somewhere in the warehouse. I never ever use them. They are just lying down here, and I really have to, you know, switch them on and make sure that these things are brought back to life. All the while I just left things piling here, never ever came to check. This flower perhaps has been screaming for water for so long. Take a look at that. All the leaves are dried up. I need to, you know, possibly put water. And there's a graphic card right here. This is an empty box because the graphic card, you know, it's an ROX 570. The graphic card is somewhere here. I'm just trying to see if I can see it. All right, this is supposed to be the graphic card, a new graphic card that has not been used, but it is what it is. Yeah, I'm just going to keep it here, and we'll see how I can, you know, either sell that or use that for a gaming PC build. See, there are days like this and nobody talks about it. Like I said, I am also guilty of this. We tend to, you know, show the front end of the things that are selling. Money is being made, PCs are being shipped out. You know, we do not talk about the challenges that we also face on a day-to-day basis, you know. But then, while just lazing around, I realized that this corner right here in the warehouse, I moved here since 2019, and ever since, I've just had this corner there. Once in a while, I tend to dump things there, like, you know, graphic cards, you know, RAM sticks, SSDs. I just dump them there, you know. I never ever come there. But while lazing around today, I took a look at this corner. It's a mess. Like, guys, literally a mess, you know. So even in my tired state, in my no motivation to do anything today, to list item, I felt like this is not something I want to allow to continue to be like this. I'm going to go ahead now to try to clean it up. You know, it's going to take me about an hour or so, because I have to first bring out everything. I have to make sure the table is well cleaned, rearrange whatever I'm going to leave there. You know, these RAM sticks, ideally, they are items that are supposed to be listed. Most of these graphic cards, they were pulled out of working PCs, and the normal thing for me to do is to go ahead and list them. But then I do not know where I'm going to start, but I definitely know that I'm going to try to do something today, given that the weather is like this. I'm going to try to see how I can actually, you know, clean up these things and make sure, you know, sanity returns to this corner there. This table right there is actually something I can use for so many other stuff. I could also use it, you know, to pack items. I could use that corner there, you know, to even sit down there and just relax, make videos, and, you know, talk to you guys. But then, this is crazy, guys. Everything here is so messed up, and I must, you know, come here today and do something about this. I want to tell you that even though having a business seems so, you know, glamorous, things seem so interesting, there is also the daily struggles that we pass through as business owners. Sometimes you do not have the motivation to do stuff. Sometimes you come to the warehouse, even if you have orders to ship out, you are just naturally tired. You know, physically you are weak. Perhaps you overworked yourself, or for so many other things that could have been happening in your life, you are just kind of tired. It is part of this package. So do not think that you're going to grind for 5 years and then you finally hit your target, which is whatever your goal is. If it's money, if it's to build a functional business, you finally hit this goal, and then you realize that, why is it that all the while I was trying to, you know, grind and build a business, I rarely found videos telling me that, look, you could get to that point you are going. Doesn't automatically mean that all your daily struggles are gone. You know, yes, you're going to be having that business. It's going to be working for you. But it doesn't mean that automatically you don't ever have this feeling of being tired, this feeling of not wanting to do anything. It doesn't also mean that everything is just going to be super, super fine. There's going to still be a place where you call dead pie. This is just one of the few dead pies I have, all right? The dead pies I have for computers are just a lot. And each time I keep telling myself, I still have to find time to go into these computers to see what working parts I can bring out of there. So long, never ever have time. So this video is meant to tell you that, look, business is a beautiful thing. Having a functional business, if you have achieved your goal, it's a very good thing, but it doesn't automatically remove the fact that you will still be seeing things like this, you know, daily struggles like this. Perhaps you have overworked in the warehouse. You shipped out a lot of items. Now there are garbages everywhere. There are bubble wraps. There are rest cartons. You still have to do these things because sometimes the business might not be bringing enough money for you to be able to, employ somebody like a cleaner to come around and just make sure that everything is kept tidy so that you do not have to do anything. The business might not be making that kind of money, so the work still would be on you to make sure that stuff like this are kept tidy. And even though you do not have the motivations to do it, sometimes it is what it is. You are still going to push yourself to do it because having the right mindset of what you are about to do is very, very important. We tend to hear only of the good things that you can get when you have a business. You can escape your 9-to-5 job. You can escape a difficult boss. You can begin to make money at your own terms. These are some of the selling points of having a business, but then we tend to hear less of the challenges that you also face. And this is one of those videos I need to put out there because you never can tell who is watching this. Having this erroneous belief that when you become a business owner, things are just going to be all right. You no longer have to worry again. Guys, the worries are still there. The job is still there for you to do. The mundane tasks are still there waiting for you. And you have to do it until the point where you can actually have a system where you have somebody coming here to do it. And then the no motivation part of the package is still there. Sometimes you'll be annoyed by customers. Things are not selling and you do not see how you should continue to list items when things are not selling, or your items are selling and they are being returned. These are the things that constantly remain. They do not go anywhere. As a matter of fact, they are part and parcel of the business process. So you are aware what you are getting yourself into, because somebody out there might just say, no, I do not think this is for me because I want to be able to grind, say 3-4 years and get to that end point and finally just take a pillow and continue to sleep and just expect money to fall from the sky. It doesn't happen like that. And videos like this are meant to help you sit down and have a really honest time with yourself and ask yourself, haven't grinded for 3 or 4 years, do I still want to continue to solve problems? Even haven't reached my goal of making, let's say, 10,000 euro in a month. Do I still want to be unreachable? Do I still want to not be able to, go for family functions or not be able to sit down and just do nothing? No, you still have to keep, working, because if you decide to remove your foot from the gas pedal, that system that you think you've built might as well just come down crumbly. I hope this video helps you to put things in the right perspective. Hopefully, at the end of today, I should have cleaned this corner and everything should be looking super clean again. Until I see you again in the next one, peace.